Equity postponed could become equity denied on the grounds that each day that disperses each second, that disseminates observer recollections, blur actual proof scatters Knifeweller Robinson's attorney, has ventured out to Mexico to look for answers concerning the case. And the Cabo Six, our scared swan, made a trip to Cabo recently for a reality-finding mission. In a letter to the White House soon, portrayed the experience as strange. It was a dreamlike involvement, with the feeling that I've been a lawyer for very nearly 17 years. I'm a previous examiner criminal guard lawyer Suan, said prior to adding I have never needed to genuinely go to one more country to explore for any family, so it was unbelievable in such manner on the grounds that the connections that this family has needed to go through. While attempting to lament a friend or family member, yet in addition look for equity for the cherished one simultaneously, it's an exceptionally significant weight. I generally say that I'm stunned at how they put their shoulder to the furrow to truly push us forward. The attorney ventured out to Mexico to monitor the situation with the case and supporter for the Robinson family. And she had the accompanying to say from going there, from going to the spot, from going to the manor. It is so unexpectedly a particularly lovely, quiet, serene spot. Getting there I was overpowered with the inclination, simply considering how energized she'd probably been the way she was anticipating spending time with individuals and partaking in the spot then. At that point, realizing she didn't get to appreciate it under 24 hours is incredibly miserable. Suan shared that the examination concerning Shanquella's demise has been finished in Mexico, and that a removal bundle was given to the U.S. government. Swan Robinson, the family's lawyer, headed out to Mexico herself for response to one of the observers. One of the staff then, at that point, was acquired, and they watched the video and distinguished the individual going after and pulsating Shanquella Robinson. And that individual was named as the attacker by the Mexican expert, notwithstanding the sue, and shared that the Mexican government has petitioned for a capture warrant for the culprits of the ghastly follow-up. On the other hand, the U.S. government still can't seem to do anything concerning this case. As a matter of fact, Shanquella's family keeps on begging U.S. authorities for activity for the situation, which has been considered femicide. In the meantime, Robinson's legal advisors informed people in general during a news gathering at Livingstone School in Salisbury that they have proactively booked a gathering with White House authorities. Expect that we will have, whether basically or in person, a gathering with the White House. Obviously, the reason for this gathering is basically to find out where the U.S. organization is in the removal convention. The convention directs that the State Division must have correspondence with Mexico experts to either start a removal cycle, which would create a bureaucratic case, and the U.S. Mexican specialists currently are looking. And as to the cafe for the removal that is to host the gathering of gatherings took back to Mexico to be considered responsible, the removal cycle has been slow, yet Knifewella's legitimate group isn't withdrawing at any point in the near future. She was areas of strength for a person of color, the best that we brought to the table for the world. And that is the reason we will keep on battling for equity for Shanquella. What's more, Sue Robinson said that on the off chance that there is no move made by the U.S. in the span of 200 days, they intend to apply considerably more tension and hold a greater exhibition at the Legislative Center. As this is going on, different charges have come up guaranteeing that the hour of death demonstrated on the dissection and the time that the viral video was recorded or not accumulating. As per the attendant who was brought in as an observer, the rough demonstration occurred at around 7 to 8:30 a.m. Nevertheless, Sheikh will have lost her life at 3 p.m., so Knifewella's family are requesting to understand what occurred between the hour of the savage assault and the hour of her end. We know about the Cabo Six, who are Shanquella's 6 travel mates, who went with her to her demise website and returned solid. At first, the reason for destruction was uncovered to her mom as an instance of liquor harming, which was subsequently invalidated when the post-mortem report turned out. In the report, It was plainly referenced that the demise was brought about by asphyxia or extreme injury to the neck. Furthermore, spinal wounds were likewise detailed. The post-mortem examination was played out a day after her end and uncovered that Shanquella had capitulated from a mentalurian atmos disengagement, extreme spinal rope wounds, gruff constrained injury to her head, and a few different wounds in her pelvic locale. Also, she had rubbing rubs all around her body. A couple of months after she died, a video began getting out and about via virtual entertainment. And it's really upsetting. In the video, Shanquella should be visible getting ruthlessly thumped by her supposed companions. It's an intense watch. Yet, obviously, Shanquella was exposed to some serious viciousness while she was traveling in Mexico, likely a little while before her homicide. It's an unnerving look into the poisonous relationships she had with individuals around her. In the event that your own companions can deal with you, appreciate that. Who's to say they wouldn't go considerably further? This video was presumably the last nail in the casket for the Cabo 6, as they're presently under doubt for homicide. A crushed fan answered the video, saying, "This story is destroying. Tears are gushing in my eyes. Your kid leaves for excursion, is fiercely thumped to death, and others watch and shot. How should you? I would maintain that they all should encounter what my little girl did. They even have a heart. Out and out brutality and obliviousness. We, as an African American community, are now survivors of bigotry, yet we savagely thump and kill our own. I am broken. While some have shown compassion towards the mother-girl pair, others are requesting that the public authority and equity framework punish the supposed culprits. Seriously, it was normal that this case would set areas of strength for off from the public anyway. Many are addressing why the specialists have not yet captured the fundamental suspects, regardless of an unmistakable rundown. Being gathered at the highest point of the suspect rundown is Jid Jackson, who has been recognized as the young lady in the video, showing Shanquella being mishandled. Thus, she has turned into the excellent suspect in Shanquella's homicide case. There are tales flowing that a capture warrant has been given for Dejani, and that the Mexican specialists have requested her removal from the U.S. to Mexico. An attorney by the name Dimitri Holz onto additionally communicated his craving to hand the suspects over to the Mexican experts for them to confront their state regulations. They will participate in their own fair treatment. To see this individual that is asserted to have carried out a wrongdoing ought to be removed. In the meantime, the family's response at this troublesome end was of unadulterated mistrust and distress. Shanquella's dad, grief-stricken to excess, discussed her movement mates and their revolting conduct. He called them out on harassing her, as well as quietly watching the scenes unfurl when they might have, on the other hand, stayed away from this disastrous circumstance out and out. And they said, "Damn." Why, Bernard Robinson further communicated this damages to the Corey. "She was my lone kid. She had so much going for herself. It is without a doubt pulverizing to get news around one's kid being killed without blinking, particularly when they are as youthful, effective, vivacious, and effervescent as Shanquella." One of Shanquella's cohorts depicted her as a famous team promoter with a decent design sense. Shanquella was running an internet-based shop in youngsters' hair-twisting business. While finishing her examinations at Winston-Salem State College, before her less-than-ideal passing tragically, the world lost a splendid young lady with a promising future. Anyway, the case has advanced rapidly because of the legitimate group's revelation of a mystery witness. The attendant of the getaway house where Sheila was killed has approached and guaranteed that one more lady from the gathering is the killer. He uncovered that he initially met Shanquella at an evening gathering and saw she didn't appear to find a place with the others. He got a message the following day from somebody on the outing, expressing that their companion had liquor harming and required crisis administration. Not long after, he got a call educating him regarding Shanquella's passing. The attendant claims that he was controlled and that the killer is one more lady from the gathering. He added, "When I saw the video via online entertainment, I understood that essentially Jenny had controlled me with the data she gave of what ended up leaving the country. quickly the way that individuals dependable may walk free without results has shocked individuals to the place where they have coordinated rallies to show fortitude with Shanquella's family and place strain on the U.S. government by and large. The inquiry that waits in the personalities of many individuals is whether a fair consequence will be given for Shankwell, or on the other hand, assuming this case will delay with unending fights in court. It's a disappointing reality that numerous casualties of savage violations face with the vulnerability of whether their culprit will be considered responsible. The expectation is that the overall set of laws will act quickly and even-handedly to carry conclusion to Shaquella's loved ones, and to start a trend that such grievous demonstrations won't go on without serious consequences. The public objection and tension on the public authority and specialists might assist with pushing for a goal for the situation. At the end of the day, it depends on the equity framework to guarantee that a fair outcome is given. That is all there is to it. For now, people buy.